6 years to come back and do it better than ever. After all, they are the ones who invented the genre, and they definitely have a huge budget to show off.
Thank you for waiting! Your stupidity is most appreciated!
Would I be able to accuse the very famous Skill Up of creating a review full of hype and ultimately lies?
My favorite Souls-like, and if all of this holds to the conclusion, then this will be one of the best open world games I've ever played. This is a double album with FromSoft at the peak of their creative power.
Because he got paid by an outsourced public relations company? Or that he was quote unquote sent to Hawaii?
Well, of course they are. They got flown to Hawaii.
Absolutely not. Accusations have to come with proof, and I have no proof. None of us have proof of what exactly these reviewers and these websites got paid or what gifts they received. However, I do have something very real. My almost 20 years of gaming experience, and what I kind of felt when I was playing it, my first impressions after about 30 hours when I almost finished the game, and what everybody else out there is saying from their hearts about this game. Clearly, the hype is a lie. Famous reviewers with millions of subscribers are greatly exaggerating. I can tell you with bias and certainty that Elden Ring is a solid 7 out of 10. And it is clearly a very long way from being what these famous reviewers call as one of the best video games of all times. They are lying. They are tricking you. They are hyping this product. It's not true. Don't believe it. As of right this very second, the problem with Bandai Namco is that they're spending much more on paying reviews than actually spending on testing and making a better video game. 60 euros for this game is a decent price if you have the money. For the amount of content that the game offers, yeah, it's, I guess, worth the price. For the map, for the weapons, the variety of skills, the variety of enemies, lots of places to visit, lots of places to see, lots to uncover, and probably, if you have the patience, even replayability, trying to build a different character with different stats. Sure, I've seen worse, and 60 euros, I don't think it's exaggerated. Emphasis here on high amount of content over quality. So it's quantity over quality, you may say. It gives you a lot to play, for sure, but it doesn't make it great by any means. You got yourself plenty to play for 60 euros. That doesn't mean it won't be frustrating or painfully boring, and what I really felt the most, just unfulfilling. If I could just describe Elden Ring with one single word, would be unfulfilling. I stand by my words, and I strongly believe that perhaps in the future, with much more updates, many more updates, maybe a DLC or more, a hefty discount, Elden Ring might prove itself to be, over time, a good deal. Not right now. Elden Ring can never ever be one of the best games ever made. Come on. This is a false statement, and unfortunately it has been adopted by the biggest reviewers out there. I mean, it just makes me wonder just how much the publishing company has spent on PR and false publicity. This has nothing to do with marketing at this point. This is just the opposite of marketing. Giving money, gifts, sending reviewers on expensive holidays, just spending all that money just so they can turn reviews in their favor. None of that money ended up in my pockets. Yeah, I'm joking. No one would pay me because I have a small channel, but I do love video games. It's, at this point, much more than a hobby. It's been a part of my life, and I completely understand when you look at, I don't know, Uncharted series, God of War 2018, The Witcher series, Witcher 3, perhaps even Skyrim. I mean, that was something else when it came out. Knowing that all of these games are amazing, each doing amazing things in their own genre, all winning awards because of the time they were released. They were absolutely different, better, beautiful looking, amazing. Everything about them was something truly unique. Elden Ring, also known as Dark Souls 4, has nothing unique. Nothing. The recipe has been clearly mixed in a different pot, adding some new flavor. The result is a very, very familiar one, and almost copy-paste familiar. It really feels like we've definitely played this before. When you're standing in front of a castle, you feel like, oh, I've seen this castle before. When you're looking at the bad guys, they do seem very familiar from Dark Souls 3. The weapons that you pick up are almost copy-paste. The animations that your character is doing, either when hitting or dodging, they're exactly the same. You've seen that rock, you've seen that tree, you've seen that grass, pretty much seen them all before in Dark Souls 3. Bro, I mean, this is Dark Souls 4 every single day. If you don't generally play video games and this is not a thing that you like to spend time with, for some reason you might be stuck inside a house, I don't know. An Uncharted video game or even God of War can be an amazing starting point. A non-gaming person, a non-gamer, they will be immediately captivated by what they see on the screen. Those video games have the potential of showing you truly the beautiful side of gaming. A side that you probably heard about but never experienced for yourself. If you've never played a video game and gaming is not your thing, picking up Elden Ring as your starting point, that will be a grave mistake. Following this principle, one of the best video games out there has to be something that a non-gamer has to enjoy immediately. Elden Ring is clearly not this game. Amazing video games are not for gamers, definitely. Amazing video games are for everyone, and Elden Ring is clearly, most certainly not for everyone. A huge variety of gamers out there don't even touch Souls games. At the end, this genre is not as big as you may think. So how can you give it one of the best video games out there, this amazing thing, when a lot of us don't even play it? And people out there that don't play video games are certainly not gonna grasp to a Souls game for their first attempt at the wondrous world of gaming. The Dark Souls series is just for the hardcore fans of the genre. Elden Ring might be a good starting point if you never played the Souls games, but you have to be a gamer. Like, in fact, you must be a gamer to enjoy this, or else $60 will be so much money that you wasted on a hyped product nonetheless. Technical difficulties. Oh, there are many, and I don't want to linger on it. Yes, we've all seen the news and people on YouTube raging about it, whatever. They're probably gonna fix it within a month, 2 months, God knows, with a bunch of updates when they'll be able to test the game more.
And I had silky smooth performance, and I was just glad to see how rock solid that FPS was during my playthrough. Whether it was distant vistas or densely lit internal spaces or combat sequences full of multiple enemies with spell and particle effects, I never lost any frames. It almost always felt extremely smooth, extremely reliable.
Let's just put that behind us, even though right now it's pretty much unplayable. I mean, I had to go through a couple of hoops and loops and tutorials on YouTube just to kind of show you this gameplay. So I was able to play it for about 30 hours. Trust me, the stuttering was happening at the worst time possible during a boss fight or just any enemy engagement. But other than that, when I'm talking about performance, I really feel that they haven't done a bad job. Again, they will be able to fix this stuttering, whatever. For me, on a medium gaming computer, I could say that I've played this at roughly around 2K, everything set to maximum, except for motion blur, which gives me a headache. And I was able to pull off at 2K resolution a medium of 80 frames. Because of the stuttering, I had to cap the frames. Again, the frames are capped, but I've used flawless widescreen to uncap the frames just to see how much performance I can squeeze out of this. 1980 frames, that was about it. I had to remove the application and play it in window mode, and in window mode without any other gizmos or apps, capped at 60. The frames were kind of stable, still stuttering, but it was playable. We've all seen better looking video games that just hold way better performance than this. Considering they have the money and considering they took 6 years for this is unforgiving. It just proves that this is a horrible console port. Not from a company with so much money, not from one of the most anticipated AAA games. They messed up on this one. From the very first moments when you jump in, after you see the cutscene, the game invites you to co-op with a friend or a stranger. It literally gives you the items that you need to co-op in the first couple of seconds of the game. Those tarnished fingers that you need to summon other people to help you. As if it was made especially for cooperative gameplay. Except, judging by the Steam review page, it wasn't. It actually wasn't. It invites you in multiplayer and it invites you to PvP, but not co-op. The story, you can become the Elden hero wielding the ring. If you can put between 30 to God knows how many hours in offline mode. Of course, the game, like I said, it's inviting. It lets you play with up to 2 friends, which will make you, again, vulnerable to invasions, making it even harder than it already is. Dark Souls 4 punishes you for co-op, just like any other Souls games before, and rewards only the ones who are brave enough to attack. I mean, what was that? Like, you wanted to have fun with a friend in co-op because both of you spend 60 euros on a video game that benefits from multiplayer over the internet? Oh, no. This is Dark Souls 4. One just simply does not have fun. The biggest reasons why this isn't that great video game they kind of presented it to be is how they were able to set it up. They thought about it as of 100% open world with everything to do and at the same time nothing to do. Just take a look at a different open world video game. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This is the latest one, the greatest one, and the one that kind of shines the most. It has a huge, absolutely huge world, way bigger than Elden Ring's map. Running around the map, removing the fog of war and seeing places is definitely not enough or a good idea. You have to go through the story, the hours of cutscenes, the character development to see how it all unfolds and how the game kind of sends you on this adventure. Eventually being able, after many hours, to see the entire map, hidden places, etc. In Elden Ring, also Dark Souls 4, you just run around, unfold the map, dodge, roll, and fight. And once you've discovered the entire map, probably fought many bad guys and farmed a bunch of souls. I mean, at this point, you've seen it all. What else is there? I can tell you that within 10-15 hours, you probably discovered on the surface and a little bit under surface the entire map, almost the entire map, with a couple of places where you need to get keys or just hidden pathways. And after you farmed many hours souls, I guess now you're strong enough to one-shot any boss. And since you're that powerful to begin with, might as well start invading other players. I mean, why not? This is Dark Souls. Elden Ring is not friendly to mages. Not at least what we think in our mind is to play a mage. You need constant mana, which you won't be able to get. At least not that easily. You can invest all your skill points into boosting your intelligence and mana because you want to become this great mage. You can use a maximum of, I believe, 7-8 potions, expecting roughly around 8 hits before you run out of mana, and you have to use a potion to refill yourself. You can use certain rings to kind of boost your mana regeneration, even though it won't be enough. And while you're building this character, you're probably going to end up at level 60 plus, even more, 70 plus. By then, 30, 40 hours have probably been spent and you're at the end of the game. Now you have a fully built mage. It's just that you finished the game. It's impossible to be a successful mage from the beginning. At first, at least 10, 15 hours, you will grind using melee weapons. Because melee is infinite, granted you have the stamina bar that refills immediately, and mana is very hard to get. Elden Ring, just like Dark Souls 3, is based on melee attacks, plus rolling and dodging with those invincibility frames. This is how this game was meant to be played. Going as a mage, not only you're gonna have a very hard time, you need to know exactly what you're doing. A first comer jumping into the mage character, you're just probably gonna regret it. No matter what you call this Elden Ring or new attempt of theirs, I know for a fact that this is Dark Souls 4. Since Dark Souls story has come to an end, they kind of had to come up with a different theme, story, whatever. Except they didn't really do something new, or at least it doesn't feel new. It's just something refurbished. So many reused assets. Even the sound is the same when you're hitting, when you're dodging. Just everything, like I said before, it feels copy-pasted, mixed up to look different. Coming back, again, why not? Comparing it to Assassin's Creed, looking at Odyssey and looking at Valhalla side by side, I mean, sure, Ubisoft must have reused some assets, why not? But you don't see it. These games don't really feel the same. I mean, they're completely different. Not the same thing when you're looking at Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring. You know, open world is great when it's done right, and I never wanted a video game to hold my hand. I get what they're trying to do here. I can't help but think about Skyrim, which also is a huge open world. I just think it's done way, way better than this one. Wandering around aimlessly on the map with just a small golden light to kind of hint you in the right direction, for me it wasn't that fun. I need some story, like in Horizon Zero Dawn, like in Valhalla, like in Skyrim. I need something to grab onto rather than nothing. It's confusing, I guess they wanted it to be that way, but it also feels a bit like a letdown. At first, you won't be able to tackle any bosses unless you are a hardcore fan of the series and you know exactly what you're doing. It's impossible to go to a lot of places before getting a couple of levels up. Tackling bosses or even bigger enemies, it's quite very, very, very challenging, and you won't be able to do it. The game forcing you to just kind of farm the same easy locations over and over just so you can build up a little bit. Find better items without engaging in fights. You got yourself a horse, you run around dodging everything and grabbing loot as you pass. This doesn't feel fun, it feels aimless. I don't feel like this is open world done right. From Software made a video game solely dependent on its combat. And that's pretty much it. They understand that Souls fans want to dodge, hit. That's pretty much it. Eventually, if you roll and dodge for many, many hours, you will get enough souls to farm, like I said, or to be so overpowered that now you can just go ahead and tackle any boss. You'll be able to kill them in a couple of hits. How is that fun? How is that regular progression? I feel like it's not. Conclusion, if you're going to play this, maybe on a console like PlayStation 5, or if you are that huge Dark Souls fan, this just might be for you. For people without a console, and for just regular folks who enjoy playing video games in general, Dark Souls 4, aka Elden Ring, is not something that I would recommend. Yes, they were the first to invent this Souls genre, but this is the perfect example that they are not the best at keeping up with it. And as a guy who just loves video games, I'm waiting for a company with a huge budget that one day will be able to deliver a truly something spectacular Souls-like experience. This isn't it. And up until that day, guys, my name is Rocashu. Thank you for watching. Can't really finish this video looking the other way or ignoring everything that's happening around me. Pretending that all that matters right about now is a shitty console port and a video game with a bunch of issues. Debating or not, this is Dark Souls 4. There's a war going on. Ukraine is being invaded, and I'm just sitting here complaining about a video game. Those people were just like me and you, going at work, going to school, watching Netflix, and enjoying their lives playing video games, but not anymore. Now they're just running for their lives. Ukraine is clearly in need of help, and I feel like maybe myself or others are not doing enough. If you can help, please do so. They deserve so much better. This war has got to stop. Peace.